Hello, hello everyone. How are we today? Hey. Alright. Now, you're probably wondering what basically the thumbnail is about today. Basically, I am going to give you my thoughts because I have done almost dang near a complete playthrough of Resident Evil 7 Village until I ended up making a mistake and did not realize that I forgot to copy the key in the foundry before I went after the final Lord. Um, so, yeah. But it's all good because I can do that. And then I got the add on for the Shadows of Rose. Now, my take on the game, I love it. I love the challenges that are in it. The puzzles, I'll be honest, some of the puzzles can be frustrating. There were times that there were times I was getting upset, and it was funny because my girl was like, "Huh? What?" Because she thought I was talking to her. So every time she heard me yelling at like the characters on the game, because we all know sometimes we're going to yell at the characters and stuff like that on TV, and we're thinking they can hear us, right? Sometimes we'll get in those moods where, you get so mad at the evil, sinister villains, and you're flipping, and then people think around you, oh no, you're talking to me or something, and then they react. Well, that's kind of how it was with me throughout the game. Other than that, I enjoyed it. I mean, the action, the killing the zombies, slaughtering them, getting a shotgun, blowing their brains, you know, blowing their heads off, killing them with a knife, getting the different shotguns, the different weapons, the different approaches. Like, I'll be honest, Capcom, thanks to what you guys did with Resident Evil 7, you brought me back into the fold of wanting to play Resident Evil again. Like, for a while, I wasn't even playing Resident Evil games, and all of a sudden, for some reason, I got drawn so into this that I can't stop playing it because it's that awesome. Now I will get back to playing Hitman 3 because we do have to finish that out, folks. I mean, I want to do that for all of us because, Hitman 4 is eventually going to be on the horizon. I have been hearing so much. They're going to give a little more freedom in Hitman 4 that they did not give in Hitman 3. So, in other words, when you go to plan your approaches and when you go to plot out your enemies you're going to kill when it comes to Hitman 4, they're going to give you a little more options of how you're doing it. So they're going to make this one really awesome. But honestly, yeah, like I'm saying, I'm excited for it. Just as much as I was excited for Resident Evil 7 when I played it. Somewhere along the line, another game I want to get into is Battlefield 6. because I love war games and I really get into games like that. But I don't like these other games where it doesn't feel like a war game. Now, if you get me, I mean, there's these other games that they say that, you know, it feels like a war game, that you're going in, you're battling in a war. But, you know, when you start including robots and all this other ridiculous crap that doesn't even need to be there, like in my opinion, when you are playing a war game, okay, a war game, in my opinion, is a game that when you are going in it, you're not going in it with robots. Like the old style war games, you went in it with just your guns, your armor, all your technical war gear, you know, like all of your war gear that you normally would carry in a war. But you would never, ever hear anything about a robot being in a war game. Like if you look back to the original Call of Duties, and you look back to that original Call of Duty Warfare 3 and others. Call of Duty World War 1. And if you look at that game, you see how there's no robots in that. You got your jets, you got your guns, you got your standard stuff in that game. That is where a war game is a war game. You know, not your robots, not your like futuristic things. It just, you know, it doesn't bring the same nostalgic feel into a game. But most of all, what also brings that factor and that shock factor and the wow value is quality, people. Quality. What brings the world to life is when the world is so spectacular. When the quality is there, when you take the time to form and shape this world, and you like take the time to put the detail into it, and you know, shape it. That's the kind of stuff that AI is not going to be able to do. AI rendering is what it is. You know, yeah, you're going to be able to punch in a bunch of fancy like directives and stuff like that into this AI tech. But the thing of it is, that's what it is. Nothing more than that. Because it's not going to make you a game that is going to feel the same. I mean, is the game going to be awesome? Probably. But are you going to get some flaws? Heck yeah. You're going to get some flaws in it, of course. Yeah, because the thing of it is, you're going to punch in a bunch of code and the game's just going to go based off of its directives that it's given. Now, as far as the showcase, what I keep hearing is everybody thinks that they're going to debut, or that they're going to debut, or they're going to show off a bunch of like major titles. Now, I think they might show some, but not a lot. You know why? Because here's why. They're going to hold on to some of their cards, alright? They're not going to show off all the cards in the deck, alright? They're going to show off what's coming this year, but they're not going to go and just like, they're not going to reveal all their cards in that deck. They're going to take their time, alright? They're gonna be like, okay, these are the games you're getting this year, everybody. This is what is gonna be shown off to you right now. These are the games you're getting, in the fall. These are the games that are gonna start hitting and coming out as you get to Thanksgiving and Halloween and stuff like that. They're not just gonna say, "Oh, here's some major titles," here's some major games. I mean, besides, you're getting a major game anyway. Rockstar North, GTA 6. That's a major game in itself. And you guys already know that. I mean, Rockstar North, man, GTA 6 is a franchise. So you're already getting something big with that. Plus, you have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. You have Wolverine that's coming. You already have Resident Evil 9 that's been out now for how long? You have, you got Fable that's coming. You got Forza Horizon 6 that's coming out before the June showcase. So when you think about everything that you're seeing, plus another Silent Hill Town Hall is on the horizon, like, when you think about everything, you look at the entire games list of what's coming, plus what's coming this year, and you think about the stacked card. I mean, every day I look on my phone and there's companies that people are aware of, and they're dropping titles left, right, and center. Dude, I mean, the thing of it is, there's no shortage on games. So we're getting all kinds of games. There's no issues there. You guys shouldn't be making a huge stink about the games, honestly. Because whatever they reveal is what they reveal. Now, this is just a chance for Xbox to show a little bit of their words. This is a little bit of time for Asha Sharma to actually come through with what she's saying about taking a little bit of Xbox and returning it a little bit to its original form. This is where she can prove a little bit of what kind of direction she's going to be taking Xbox in, and hopefully she's going to be able to take it in the direction that she's saying. Because the thing of it is, you have Amy Hood, alright? You got Amy Hood that is there. You got, of course, like we always say, Satya Nadella, who is there. So she's going to have to answer to them. And you and me both know that there's only so much pull she's going to have before they say, okay, you're going to do this, this, and this, but you're not going to do this. Because the thing of it is, we're in charge. So we give you your budget. We give you the amount of money. This is what you're going to have to be able to work with. This is what you're going to have to be able to spend. So remember, spend wisely, because we're not going to hand you any more over than what we give. Now, hopefully, she can do what she wants to do with getting at least a portion of the original Xbox back and start making games popular again and bringing back that nostalgic feel to Xbox. Doing what basically was lost. Because there used to be this feel where people would not judge Xbox too harshly. I remember that when the original Xbox, the big one, and I'm talking this was way before Xbox One X, that if you guys remember the very first Xbox, how big it was, and how popular it was when that first appeared. I mean, everybody wanted to get their hands on it just to test it, to see what it was like. And at that time, that's what made people get hooked on Xbox, was that first original one. And then from there, people started playing it like crazy. People started getting games for it. When games started getting awesome for it, people were getting their hands on the games for it. So, it just turned into this, like, thing of its own. It turned into this beast of its own. But that's how everything starts. At first, it starts on shaky ground. And then once more people see it, and their advertising, Xbox advertising used to be real good at one time. Like, they never used to struggle badly with their advertising. Like, they used to have a bunch of advertising everywhere. Like, they weren't too stingy with advertising their stuff. And they weren't wanting to restrict their budget too much like today. Because like today, today it seems like that they restrict a portion of that advertising budget. But the thing of it is, people, you got to spend money to make money. I've said it how many times on my channel. You got to spend money to make money. You got to spend your profit to gain profit. Advertising, advertising, advertising. Because if you look on Facebook and you see all these games that come out, you look across social media, what do you see? What do you see every day being shown off? A different game every day. A new news article every day. Why? Because other companies and industries are not afraid to advertise. They're not afraid to put out. You need to, because you're gonna gain customer support. And if you're making a quality product, that quality product is going to make profit. Because people are going to buy a product if it's the quality that people are looking for. They're not going to pay something if it's not a quality that they're looking for. And if it's not running well, working well. Or if it's not something that they feel as though that's going to provide them the best entertainment, and they know they can go elsewhere, they're going to go elsewhere. Why do you think Sony has such a huge customer base? Because people go over there because the way that Sony isn't afraid to at least advertise, that's why people go over there to their games. Because every time you see Sony advertising a lot, you see their games everywhere. You see their accessories getting advertised. You see stuff getting put out there all the time by them. And at one time it used to be that Xbox was that way too. Like Microsoft and Xbox was that way too. Like they would advertise a ton. They weren't afraid to put their stuff out there. Same goes for advertising hardware. Like they used to advertise their hardware storm. Yeah. And now it's time for them, I think, to start returning to that. Because I think they would get a return, a good return at that, on their profit, and I think that would be a good thing. Because this day and age, folks, let's just admit it. I mean, this day and age, it's easy to struggle. Yeah, because we live in a world where it's easy to get caught up in stuff where if you're not watching what you do, you will put yourself in such a tough position that you'll struggle. And the hardest part about it is you have to be blunt with people. Especially when you get in a position in real life. Let's take this a little bit out of gaming for a moment. Sometimes in real life, when you're surrounded by a bunch of people and you are managing your own home, and you have all these bills that you got to pay on an average or a daily basis. Sometimes you got to make a tough choice and a tough sacrifice. And a lot of times is you got to make the choice. Is it worth paying for an expensive console that's $800, $900, or $1,000? Or is it worth keeping the utilities on in your house? Is it worth paying for the internet service? And at least having a system that you have in your house that you could play. I mean, if you already got a fancy PC, you already got fancy tech, you already got fancy stuff, why even bother to invest in more when you could simply pay what you have, or pay for what you have, and enjoy what you're gaming on? Because the thing of it is, at least with what you have, you're still getting enjoyment, you're playing your games, you're having your fun, and you can pretty much still get your same enjoyment without paying a hefty price tag and putting yourself in jeopardy or debt. So that's where, you have to make these tough choices when you got companies such as Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, when prices go up. You have to be making these tough decisions, because if you don't, you can be in debt over stuff. And it's so easy to do that now. Yeah, this is a great hobby. It's a wonderful hobby. I enjoy gaming, don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to enjoy it until I'm broke. Because a lot of times I'm going to make the best choices that will benefit me in the long run. But I'm still going to enjoy and love this hobby to death, because it's the best hobby I've picked up. And I could say that no matter the amount of console or hardware, software, I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm still going to keep working hard to grow this YouTube channel, keep content on it. But with your help, I can grow this even further and make a community. And I love having you guys in this community with me. You guys are a major support to me. Even whenever things feel like it's such a weight on my back, you guys have made a difference. You guys that support me and share and click like and react to things that go on this channel. You guys from the bottom of my heart help me out a lot. You know, I'm looking forward to the showcase. I don't know if you guys are, but I know I am. But most of all, I'm looking forward to it because I want to see at this showcase if Xbox can bring back what they say they're going to bring back. I want to see if Xbox is going to prove what they're saying. I want to see if Asha Sharma can do for Xbox what she has done for Meta. I want to see if she can do the thing that Phil couldn't. Now, I'm not dissing on Phil. He was a good man, did a lot for Xbox. But the thing of it is, we all know because of Amy Hood and Satya Nadella that that's why he could not push the envelope further. You know, because the thing of it is, at the end of the day, those two are going to make sure that decisions are getting made that they see fit. So, you know. And they always say that sometimes you need a regime change within a company. A regime change or a changing of the guard, so to speak. So hopefully this change is a positive one. Now you might not see this change this year because it was a little bit late in this year that this change was made. Since the retirement of Phil and since all that change was done. But hopefully you start to see the little changes over the next few months heading forward. And hopefully they're more positive changes for our benefit as gamers, content creators, all around us. That hopefully these changes that they're saying they want to make and trying to make a better difference, hopefully they can do it and not just say it. Because to me, a portion of time, words are just words. But when they start putting those words into action, that's when they're going to make a believer out of me. Once you start putting your words into action, that's whenever I'm going to start believing it. Now, I'm also excited too because we're going to get Division 3 is another game in the works. Now, I don't know how excited you guys are for Division 3. If there's any Division 3 fans, let me know out there. Come on now. Come on, let your voices be heard. If there's any Division 3 fans out there, come on and let your voices be heard. You're more than welcome to enter my chat. But the thing of it is, I'm excited for that too. Because I want to see how Ubisoft plans to carry this story forward. I want to see how they're planning to carry the Aaron Keener and Manny Ortega and that story forward. Even after Andrew Ellis was killed by Faye Lau. I want to see how this one's going to go forward. Because the thing of it is, there might have been so much BS behind the company and behind the curtain, but besides that BS behind the curtain and besides all that stuff behind the curtain and behind the company and all that, you can't argue the fact that they make a awesome game. So who is excited for the return of Division 3? The return of Tom Clancy series in the form of Division 3. I am. I'm ready for it. Because that's also another game that I am hooked on as well and looking forward to. Now, I might not get it this month, a Battlefield 6, or next month. But to be truthful, I might even get Resident Evil 9. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But from what I've seen, and you guys will probably be excited by this. Now, I don't know if this is just a rumor at this point. But I do have it as a short form on my YouTube. And the thing of it is, there may be a possibility of Resident Evil 10. Now, how exciting would that be for a 10th part? Now, DLC, we are getting Agent Long back in the DLC for Resident Evil 9. That has been confirmed. And Chris has come back. They are remaking Resident Evil 1. And they will be doing a remake of the others. So those are confirmed. They are working on that. Because the Resident Evil series is such a popular series, and I think now that they're seeing that people are backing it up and people are playing those games again, I think that is what is really making Capcom happy. So that's why Capcom is beginning to majorly take these games and starting to do what they're doing with them. Because they see that people are playing them again, so it's reviving the series. Which, keep it up, everybody. Come on now. Who doesn't like Resident Evil? And in my opinion, Resident Evil, if you're looking for an awesome, scary game, it's right up there with Silent Hill. Because the thing of it is, I could say with these, like, the puzzles in Resident Evil, that's why I say it's right up there with Silent Hill. Because the puzzles in Resident Evil, it's just like Silent Hill where it doesn't hold your hand. You know, you're sitting there and you're playing it and it doesn't hold your hand. And you could tell it doesn't hold your hand because it makes you think, it makes you use your brain, it makes you study stuff, makes you slow down and pace yourself throughout the game so you're not going to, like, push yourself. And then if you notice, when you do push yourself in the game, what happens? You mess up. You die. Now, I don't know if anyone else has done this, but what I've noticed, I push myself, I die. I push myself, I die. Push, die, push, die, push, die, push, die, push, die. Yeah, so I noticed that now, since I have to like really focus on the puzzles, now I started doing that where I focus on the puzzles more. And I learn to pace myself through each of the areas now. But I like how you can get all these rare guns, grenade launcher, like all these different weapons, gathering meat, being able to sell certain items, to get yourself better items, to upgrade your weaponry that you carry. Like all of this is cool. To be honest, guys, it's just, I love it because it's a breath of fresh air. It's a different game, and not only that, but it being a zombie killer, a zombie slash vampire killer, is just something different for me. Instead of always playing Division 2, Hitman 3, um, and not really, you know, playing the wrestling much or going to GTA, playing Resident Evil has given me a break from that. But I do want to finish Hitman 3 in honor of the release of Hitman 4. So, you know, but I am looking forward to the showcase that's coming. I'm looking forward to what will be shown off there. I'm not going to make too much of a deep prediction on that because the thing is, they will show what they're going to show. But my two biggest points that I am stressing is quality, but most of all, is it's time for them to show a little bit of proof of, are they going to be able to bring a little bit of that original form back? Are they going to be able to show fans that Xbox still has what it takes to bring back quality to their games? You know, are they going to still be able to draw the crowd like they once did? Honestly, I'm a gamer through and through. So I will support games entirely. There's no way I'm changing my stripes no matter what they do because I'm supporting Xbox, but I support gaming in general. But I will still fight for quality in it, and I will stand for them working their hardest and their best to bring games that are worth the money. Because if you're gonna try and sell me a game that's like $100 or more, then that game really better be worth it. That product that you're gonna sell me for that much money, you better make sure that game is shining. You better make sure that if that game was a diamond in the rough, then you better make sure that's shimmering and shining by the time you offer me that product. You know, you better make sure that that game is at least as much bug-free as possible before you offer that to me. Because I'm not going to pay for it if it's not. And I hope that you hear this, Satya Nadella and Amy Hood and Asha Sharma, that work on the advertising. Please put your advertising out there more. Advertise your games. Advertise your console more. When you get Project Helix out there by next year, show it off a lot. You know, when you reveal it, advertise that a lot. when you end up putting out games like you've been doing this year, next year, really get the advertising budget there and start advertising stuff more. Don't hesitate. Try to get an advertising budget. Yeah, try to get a budget for getting your games to a quality that customers are going to really see it shimmering and shining, that customers are going to be like, oh yeah, I got to do whatever it takes to get my hands on it. Oh, I love this game because I remember it from this, but man, they did a great job this time. They really brought that game to where I thought they never could. You know, take it from impossible to possible. Because the thing of it is, Xbox used to be about where it used to really catch the gamer's eye. And when it was advertised a lot, people would really be setting money aside, saving for it, saving for games for it, for controllers. Now, Xbox has got plenty of controllers, but we could use a controller with a microphone in the middle of it. Personally, that's just me, though. But, you know, it'd be nice to have a better gaming chair than I got sitting behind me right now, but hey, it is what it is. But honestly, though, when it comes to the hardware and stuff like that and the software, you gotta advertise that stuff a lot more. Because people that work during the day, not everybody can see that stuff. People that got work shifts and they got other stuff that they're doing, a like few second commercial, you're gonna be lucky if someone sees a few second commercial, especially in a busy work day. Especially if someone is working in the restaurant industry or a factory, you know, or a big time job in an office where they're working until almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're going to be lucky if they catch just a small few second ad. So you have to think, what is it going to take that we can catch the gamer's eye and catch these people to pull them in? That's what you have to think about. That's how you bring more gamers to your product. Is how am I going to catch them? What am I going to do that's going to entice my customers to want to buy, to want to invest? Well, I can tell you, don't sell them a crappy game. Don't sell them a game with a bunch of bugs and glitches in it, and a game that can be exposed for what it is. Don't sell them a game that if they go to try to play it and there's a bunch of skipping scenes in it, or there's a bunch of like little things in it that go wrong as they're trying to play it. I'll tell you what, a person's not going to pay for something like that. I can tell you that right now. Because even the same thing, why would a person want to pay for like a product for their home or their house if it's not a good working product? Simply, they're not going to. Especially if it costs like over $90 or more. Why would somebody pay for a household product that doesn't work right? And what do you think happens with a mechanic if a mechanic fixes your car and if he doesn't do the right job and your car still ain't running right? What do you think happens? That mechanic gets sued. They get in trouble. Now, of course, the game corporation's not the same way. But here's the thing that hurts the game corporation, and here's the thing that hurts these corporations. If your game doesn't turn out well, what hurts the corporations that sell these games is people that don't buy their games. You could sell your hardware, but what use is your hardware if people ain't buying your software that goes with it? And it's the same as your accessories. If your accessories don't work well and people are not going to buy your accessories, what makes you think you're going to turn a profit? So everything has to be in ship shape and in top shape if you think that a profit's going to be made on a faulty product. No, it won't. Because nobody's going to open up their wallet for something that is not going to be a good product. But most of all, we have to stay vigilant. And how we stay vigilant to know the difference between something faulty and something not is by using our eye. Spotting it. Knowing what to look for when we are playing that game, or knowing what to look for when we're using a certain product. I've been a gamer for almost 40 years. So having that talent of being a gamer for as long as I have been, growing up in a 2D dimension and playing games when they were so much older than now, to the new age, you learn a thing or two of the difference between now and how they were then. And I can say games have come a long way, but I can also say games can improve and really get much, much better. Because as the technology advances, the games should advance with it. The quality of the games should advance with the quality of the hardware that is there. All of these rage engines, all these graphic engines, the games can change along with that. But it's all in the choice of these big bosses that run the company and their willingness to let it. But if they want to turn a profit, they got to consider that. But that's what I love about games, because games are not only fun, but it brings you into a mythical world that is a living, breathing, mythical world around you that tells a story to you. And how it tells that story to you is by each and every scene that you play. And that's what's so great about games. Games are like a storybook being read to you. Bit by bit, the missions you play, you're getting the story told. It's like an individual story. The story of Ethan Winters and the search of his daughter. The sad ups and downs, the anger, the frustration as he goes toward these like supernatural beings. It was such an intriguing story. The thrill you would get when you're holding onto a shotgun, blowing zombies' heads off. As you're trying to rescue and save your daughter, as Ethan. Then he runs into Chris, his friend Chris, who is an agent for the FBI, who is running an investigation to figure out why there's so much chemical around and why all this stuff is happening. Meanwhile, the only thing that Ethan Winters wonders is what happened to his daughter and what happened to his wife. But you see what I mean? That's how awesome that a game can just make you get wrapped around this story and make you enjoy it so much. But that's how fun gaming is. And let us remember that it's not just about the games we play, and it's not just about the way that they're made and the quality that they're made at, but it's the fun that we have when we play them. It's the stories that we enjoy, that we need to fight for, because we need the quality to continue, but we also need the stories to not be tarnished. Because the real people that do this, they put their heart and their blood and their sweat and their tears into this, their time, their dedication, to work hard to do all this, the process, so we can sit and enjoy an entire story being told to us through a game, as we have that control and have a blast as we're doing it. You know, and the relaxation time that we get from it. You know, let's not forget all that. You know, let's not forget what makes gaming fun for all of us. Because if we tend to drift away from what makes that all fun, and if we focus on the ridiculous stuff about the industry and the games and stuff like that, you know, then we tend to just stray away from the important natured things that gaming brings. So, but most of all, I am looking forward to it. I'm sure she will do as she's saying, but that's all we can hope that it'll be done. But of course, I'm a cautious spender and buyer, and I always will be. Like I said, I appreciate your continued support of what you guys do, the way that you guys hold in there, and understand, you know, that sometimes I struggle with real life situations, and I'm sure all of us do. So, but I appreciate the help that all of you have given by sharing my channel out there and clicking the like and continuing to help support. But those are pretty much just my thoughts at this point. You know, and I really am looking forward, of what's to come and what the future will bring. I mean, I see gaming getting better and better. But I had a blast with Resident Evil. Like, I could not believe the fun I had with the puzzles. I mean, yeah, I did have a challenging time with specific puzzles. I did mess up on a few of them. Some of them that I had a hard time figuring some of them out. Ain't going to sit here and lie to you on that one. Yeah, I did end up having a little bit of some trouble with some of them. But other than that, I mean, once I figured them out, it was like nothing. Yeah, it was like nothing once I figured them out. But yeah, once I figured them out, boy, that was it. I was on the roll. Sometimes I was on the roll moving too fast to where I ended up passing up things. Vital things, important things I actually needed within the game to keep myself moving and accomplish certain things in the game too. So, yeah. But I put up about 2 YouTube shorts. I am doing this live today because I know how much I had promised you guys that I would do it live on my channel. So I wanted to get around to doing that. But I've also been taking time to game myself, so hopefully you guys understand too that sometimes an individual needs gaming time to themselves. That's why I've also been gaming. But yeah. But I've been having a blast with it, I'm not sure what else I'll be doing down the road. I know that I do want to finish up Hitman 3. Somewhere along the line, I do want to record and finish that out in celebration because I know Hitman 4 is coming down the road, so eventually I want to finish that out to get that up on the channel as soon as I can. So I don't think I'm really going to do like GTA 5 because GTA 5's probably been like done to death. And I have Division 2, so I don't know if you guys would ever want to do per se like a day where we would just like have a Division 2 day and where I can record Division 2 through my phone and post that up on the channel. Because right now at the moment, that's the way I can run things because, I don't exactly have like this like supercomputer, so right now I'm running things pretty standard until the channel or until I build this channel up. I am working hard to try to reach a goal at the moment. The main goal is 500 subscribers, but I know that's a ways to go for that. I am trying to work hard though at this channel to keep up content every day, whether it is shorts or videos. Like I said, so, but I try my best, to get things up there and working with what I have, whether it is my iPhone or using this PC that I currently use right now. And, you guys could take it amongst yourselves as a vote, or we can do a poll or whatever. You guys can just let me know in the comments or whatever to any of my videos to let me know if you guys would want to see a Division 2 video go up after Hitman 3, because I can also do that. I appreciate you guys bearing with me and understanding that I do things the best I can until we grow this channel. So, but I really love doing this. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy being a gamer, because these are the things that I live for. Gaming is something that has been a part of me for as long as I can remember. From the first time I picked up a controller and it was to an Atari, ever since then, I knew what I was going to be. I knew what I wanted to do. And that was be a gamer. I've had other jobs. I've been a jack of all trades. I've taken other careers. I've done other things, but nothing has brought me the same happiness as picking up a controller and gaming. And nothing's really got my blood pumping and my heart racing than when I'm sitting there and playing a game that just is adrenaline fueled. Because once I started doing that, I was like, heck yeah. And I said to myself, I'm like, I don't think I could ever turn this into a career though. I'm like, I don't think I could ever stream this like a lot of people. I used to say to myself a lot of the times, I used to sit and say, well, if I try this and try to be a big YouTuber and try to put myself on a camera using a headset, or if I'd try putting myself on a camera and start talking to a community, people would think I'm crazy. I used to say if I would sit here and I would game and I would try to do that and at the same time talk to a community about what makes me passionate about gaming or what I enjoy about the game in general that I sit and I play, the people would think that it is ridiculous for me to do that. Let me tell you a little bit of a story about Top Gamer Pro 2025. I grew up as this young, shy teenager. Well, young boy. Used to get picked on a lot, bullied, judged, multiple disorders, depression, intermittent explosive disorder, mild MR, mild autism. When I reached the age of 9 years old, I drove my grandpa's tractor down the center of a street without crashing. I put a dent in the center of my grandma's microwave because I couldn't even figure out how to use it. That's how strong I was at the age of 9. I had put my fist through windows because of my anger. You know, there's certain things I've done because I could not understand myself. Sometimes other kids couldn't even understand me either. But I grew up in my neighborhood through my childhood always being called a monster. And no other kids would play with me. And be like, "Here, stay away from me. You're a monster." And when I started playing my first video game system, which was an Atari, getting into something like that actually helped. Because for once, I was doing something where it felt good, where I had happiness, I had joy. Because I was doing something that I fit into. And then over time, it just continued to grow on me. You know, gaming grew on me. And as much as it helped me through my childhood, that is why today that I still hold on to this gaming hobby, because of what it did for me then and what it still does for me to this day. 34 to 37 years later, as a 41-year-old man, and I'm still sitting here gaming today. So I'm willing to stand. I'm willing to say, bring quality games to people. Bring games that people bring quality games to people that people are going to be passionate and willing to buy. Bring that product that makes it hard for a person to set their controller down. Capcom knows how to sell. Why do you think Resident Evil has been such a popular franchise in itself? Why? Because Capcom knows how to sell it. They know how to get their games to a point that you get intrigued in the story itself. And if Capcom can do that, then Xbox can do it. Anyone can make a game great as long as they're willing to put the work in and the effort in. Yeah, AI is great for rendering graphics and stuff. I don't mind if you're going to use it to straighten up some things, fix some things up. But when you want to use it to take over human jobs, sorry, this guy right here from 1985 disagrees with you. I am not going to agree with this whole AI taking over a person's job. You will never see me side with that. Use it to fix your graphics, use it to make your games better, but don't you be trying to steal people's jobs that they work their rear ends off for. Don't be trying to take over someone's job that they spent their life to get that degree to do it. Treat your workers with respect. Work with your companies. Work with your companies that work with you. Be willing to work with your employees if they're willing to work with you. Only get rid of the employees that decide that they don't want to work with you. Weave out the bad, but keep the good. Like they always say, out with evil, in with the good. Get an advertising budget that's enough to be able to make sure that people see your games. Make sure that your hardware is going to get marketed in the right way. Make sure that everything that you do is to the quality and to the standards of the words and to what your company stands for. And don't have your words just be words. Because people are looking for things that are not just words. Especially whenever people invest thousands of dollars in a game hobby, a video game hobby like this, that is a pricey one. Especially technology like this. When people are investing in technology like this, you best be bringing them the best. The best that you can bring is what you should be bringing with you, because if not, you're going to see the difference in your audiences, in your player counts, and you're going to see the difference in your profits. You will see the changes of what's going to happen if you make promises that you can't keep. So, but that was just a little bit of background story on me of how hard it was, when I was growing up, and how much this video game hobby means for me, what it's done for me, everything that it's done to help me out through hard times and rough times, and why I'm still passionate about it today, and why I try to fight for the best getting brought out of it. So, that's the biggest reason why I'm fighting for the best to come from it. Because as much as we invest into it, and as much as we put into it, why shouldn't we get the same in return as gamers? Why shouldn't we get the best, and why shouldn't we get the same that we put into it? Why shouldn't we get that in return? We should. Especially if they want us to sink like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars into the products that come along with everything. So, But hopefully you've been playing a ton of video games besides spending time with family, because I know that Easter is not far off. So, it's been a little bit of a rough morning because my teenager decided to get a little bit mouthy with Papa Bear today, before he left for school. But other than that, I mean, it was a good morning, good start to my morning, other than that. So, like I said, we will work on trying to get through Hitman 3 as soon as possible. But like I said, I've been enjoying Resident Evil 7 Village, so that's kind of the reason why I haven't got back to Hitman 3. But I'm sure you can understand that. But if you're excited for the showcase to come in June, you can let me know in the comments. And you can also just tell me what kind of games you're excited for. You know, let me know what you're excited for. Let me know what is going to bring you joy as far as games that are coming. I know there's going to be a lot of stuff that's on the way. But like I said, I just wanted to come on here and cover a few things of what I've been enjoying of my playthrough of Resident Evil 7. And at least give you a little bit of a live show for a change, because I've been doing those shorts and all that, so, and little snippets of recording of Resident Evil 7, but eventually I will get back to Hitman 3, but I would appreciate the continued support. Of course, you know what to do. Make sure that your notification bell is switched to all. And just give me a thumbs up. And give me a share. You know, that'll help to boost the channel. And that just lets YouTube know that you like and support the channel. If you're excited for the showcase, you know, let me know. Let me know what excites you the most about the showcase. And let me know what you're most looking forward to. And let me know your thoughts. You know, let me know your opinions about how you're feeling about everything. You know, because like I said, most of all, when I'm live on this channel, you can jump in and just give your opinions. You know, I don't mind. I don't even mind sitting here talking gaming. You know, that's what this channel is all about. So, I pretty much covered the two topics I wanted to cover, which was the showcase and my playthrough of Resident Evil 7. So, even though I think I need to take my time, though, because when I went on to the fourth floor and I ended up passing up getting the copy of that key for his doors when I was in the foundry part of his area. So, which those zombies, man, when they go after you, boy, do they go after you. So, but I just figured I'd get on here and talk a little bit about my playthrough and give my thoughts about the showcase. But you guys can always catch up to me later, or pretty much any time. So take care, enjoy yourselves, play plenty of games, and most of all, keep that excitement going. Take care, y'all. Like I always say, talk